propaganda campaign aimed at women's health providers, and the people of West Virginia would support it. How absurd and how wrong. Look at this crowd. Mr. Morrissey, you must have thought that West Virginians were ignorant and not paying attention. And as a West Virginian, I take offense to that. This crowd takes offense to that. These people are smart, they are brave, and they are united.
The Attorney General has insulted me with his attack on Women's Health Center. Not only me, he has insulted the 40 original funders and undersigners of the Women's Health Center of West Virginia. He has insulted the over 80,000 women who have come to the Women's Health Center for abortion since 1976. He has insulted the medical and nursing boards of West Virginia because they are the ones that are charged with regulating health care in this state, not the Attorney General. How dare the Attorney General think that we would ever want to provide unsafe or low-quality care to the women of this state? Abortion care is a simple surgical or medical procedure. To require a simple procedure to be done in a hospital-like setting would make the cost unnecessarily prohibitive to the women who are seeking that service. And of course, we know that that is his intent.
Individual and institutional violence against women go hand in hand. The goal is to take away a woman's basic right to self-determination for the purpose of domination. The West Virginia Coalition Against Domestic Violence believes in the empowerment of women and their right to make informed choices. The coalition supports policy that allows women to make decisions regarding all aspects of their lives free from government intervention. We want to help women get out of abusive relationships.
The Republican war on women is real. And Republican Attorney General Patrick Morrissey, West Virginia's first Republican AG in 80 years, has joined the nationwide GOP assault on women's health and freedom that would deny millions of women access to affordable contraception and life-saving cancer screenings and cut nutritional support for millions of newborn babies in struggling families. Compared to the warfare in the states of Texas and North Carolina, where unjustly harsh anti-abortion laws have been enacted, Morrissey's assault may seem mild to some. But to us, West Virginia men and women, the assault is just as demeaning and disrespectful as the state-sanctioned abuse elsewhere. Assuming that women's health clinics in the state may not be well regulated, Morrissey is provoking fury among thousands of us who are demanding that he back off. And by singling out the clinics for investigation, Morrissey is trying to create new obstacles to abortions while insulting the licensed and accountable doctors and nurses who care for those seeking the safe and legal services. In the 30-plus years the women's health care clinics have been operating in West Virginia, the Department of Health and Human Services has logged not one complaint against the facility. The Attorney General is just like Republican legislators in Texas who want to stop all abortions. He knows he can't overturn Roe versus Wade, so he's trying to chip away at the clinics in the hope that he can shut them down eventually. The truth is, if Morrissey wants to reduce abortions, the obvious approach would be to reduce unwanted pregnancies. Abortion should be safe, legal, and rare. Achieving that is not easy, and there is no silver bullet to reduce unwanted pregnancies. But family planning and comprehensive sex education are a surer path than demeaning vulnerable women with state-sanctioned abuse and humiliation. This is the 21st century. These are not the dark ages in which we live. The day of cliffhangers are over. You should step down from your high office and stop stepping on the necks of the women of West Virginia. It's time for you to go back to where you came from. It is time for you to return to the age of the darkness. It is time to give it up here. And on that day, we will be able to repeat, as the great civil rights leader of America once said, we're free at last, free at last, we're free at last.
Young people are restricted enough in their choices already. Why drive them away by taking back the one thing over which they have the most control, their bodies? I'm still ready to vote in West Virginia, and when I say this, Patrick Morrissey, I'm speaking directly to you. My body is not your punching bag.
The American College opposes requirements that single out abortion services from other outpatient procedures. The American College opposes laws or regulations that require abortion providers to have hospital admitting privileges, and the American College of Obstetrics and Gynecology opposes facility regulations that are more stringent for abortion than for other surgical procedures of similar low risk. OBGYN doctors, as well as other physicians, perform low-risk surgical procedures in their offices or clinics every day, and these procedures are not being questioned.
We are here together to resist this dishonest effort to infringe upon the constitutional rights of women and to reduce their access to quality health care. We're also here to tell our legislators that we elected them to address the real problems of this state, not to use illusory problems to stir controversy and further political agendas. We need our legislature to be working on the many real problems in our communities which actually need to be addressed through laws and regulations. And if the Attorney General wants to do investigations into real health and safety problems, we would be glad to offer some suggestions about where to find them.
Attorney General Patrick Morrissey isn't concerned about the facts. The fact that Women's Health Center of West Virginia has for almost 40 years provided safe, quality abortion care. The fact that if that care is restricted or denied women's lives, West Virginians' women's lives are in danger. You'd think as an attorney, Mr. Morrissey would be concerned about the facts. You see, when he obtained his license to practice law in West Virginia, which wasn't that long ago, because he moved here from someplace else, he made a promise to follow the rules of conduct for lawyers in West Virginia. He made a promise to act ethically. And more importantly, he swore an oath to the Constitution. So after making those promises and swearing that oath, he's involved his office in an ongoing lawsuit to which the state of West Virginia is not a party. He's taken a position before all the facts have been heard. And what's worse than that, when good, upstanding West Virginians dared challenge his authority, questioned his authority to act in this way, he threatened to retaliate and chill the right of citizens to question the conduct of our elected officials. Mr. Morrissey ran a campaign on freedom from government overreach and intrusion into our lives. I guess we should have read the fine print because we've been hoodwinked. Mr. Morrissey is clearly on a campaign to make us all hop into his Wayback Machine and go back to the days when access to safe, quality abortion care in West Virginia was restricted and denied, when women's lives were in danger. We're here to say no thank you, Mr. Morrissey. We'd rather stand here with West Virginia women than take that ride, because we value life. We don't want your out-of-state, out-of-touch, antiquated notions about what's best for West Virginia women, because we know. We've been doing this for a long time, and we're not going back.
The right of West Virginia women to have access to safe, affordable, reproductive health care is essential to the well-being of West Virginia women and their families. I spent my practicum in my master's program at WVU at the Women's Health Center under the auspices of two fabulous nurses. One moment stands out for me as a key lesson in non-judgment. It was listening to the distraught mother who came to the clinic that day to support the 15-year-old daughter's choice. She did not have a piece of valuable information. She did not understand that taking antibiotics could interfere with her birth control. The mother said to me this: I never thought I would ever set foot in this clinic. Last week I was out front picketing. It's easy to make judgments when you have not faced the pain of another's choice. You don't know anything until you walk in another person's shoes. Regardless of my personal conflict, I had to support my daughter today I know she is making the right choice for herself.
My daughter, her name is Emily. She is 6 years old and she just started first grade. You watch your child grow and you start to see them make decisions on their own. You see the thought process that goes into every single decision that they make. As I look to the future, my hope is that as she grows older and these decisions become more and more difficult, that she will not only have me beside her, but she will also have a state that respects her decision-making capabilities, that she will have a state that will stand behind her in support, and that she will have a state that will honor and respect her as an individual woman. I not only want, but I need West Virginia to be that state. I want her to know that she lives in a state that will hold her up and cherish who she is, just like I do. So today, I stand with West Virginia women because my daughter matters, and she matters to West Virginia.
Fairness West Virginia is here to say that we're here to stand with West Virginia women, cut through these political games, and make sure West Virginia women are treated fairly.
Patrick Morrissey was admitted to the bar 4 days before he decided to file for running for the office. 4 days, and he thinks that he should be our top legal officer. Congresswoman Shirley Chisholm was the first African-American woman elected to Congress. She was the first major party black candidate to run for president of the United States. She was the first woman to run for the president in the Democratic Party. She had an IQ of 161. Her slogan was unbought and unbossed. And I'm going to follow up on those 2 points. I have a little message for Mr. Morrissey. You may have bought your election, but you are not going to buy my constitutional rights. My constitutional rights are not for sale. About our Constitution, our state Constitution, our federal Constitution.
Proud to be here today to stand with women across the state, but I'm going to absolutely stand for all women and make sure that every woman has full access to all information that is accurate and untainted. Every woman has the right to true and factual medical information, and we shouldn't be putting up roadblocks to that information. It is your right, and it is something that every man and every woman must stand up for with you, and I'm proud to be here
For
today.
nearly 100 years now, Planned Parenthood has stood behind, beside, or in front of women of this country to help them make safe, well-informed decisions about their reproductive health for themselves and their families. I can tell you that Planned Parenthood has prevented more abortions than any politician or any law on any book in any state in this country. At Planned Parenthood, we will not sit by while politicians lie to the women of West Virginia. We will not sit by while they try to make a woman's health care decisions for her. We will not sit by while politicians of either party try to make health